No worries.
Okay.
Good morning. We are now live.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you all?
Good morning, everyone.
I'm very good. I'm glad you're here. Happy birthday. It's today, right? Your birthday?
Yes, my 30th birthday today.
30. Love it.
Yeah.
You're so
Everyone
young.
well.
Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. I don't feel it though. Like I said to someone today that the clock's ticking, you know? The clock's ticking. So you got to make the most of it. So when people say, am I celebrating tonight? I'm like, no, I'm doing something that I love, talking to people, and I don't really have too much of a social life at the moment, to be honest. So I'm in the building phase. So got to make the most of it.
This is a social life.
This is the social life, correct?
This is the social life.
I'm going to get everyone in the
How does
chat
this-
to sing you happy birthday.
We celebrate every day.
Of course. So how does this normally run?
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Oh, how long is run? 1 hour. 1 hour.
No. How does it typically run? Are people
Oh.
in the audience
All right.
now,
So
or-
for people
Yeah.
in the chat, please put your questions in the chat. Put hashtag KMT today for what are we winning today?
A hoodie. A Kiltz hoodie.
A hoodie. Okay. And we're going to have you go ahead and tell us about yourself and your story of healing or anything
course.
else you want to talk about.
Of course. I mean, it's how long we got? An hour, you said. I mean, we'll probably
1
be here a
hour.
long time if I told the full story. But I was a pretty curious kid growing up, and I guess I wouldn't call myself a kid anymore, but I'm still very curious, and I developed an interest in boxing throughout my early teenage years, and that developed into a passion to want to pursue it a bit more. So through all of that, I spent a heap of time doing boxing, developed a bit of an eating disorder. Funnily enough, went to America, went to San Diego for 6 months doing an exchange trip. And
Okay. I'm in
like I
San
said
Diego right
before-
now.
Oh, really? Oh, it's a beautiful part of the world. I had some great memories there, but I'm an all or nothing person. It's, I don't really do things half-heartedly. So I went over to that trip, and I did, gain a lot of weight. I partied hard and developed some really good memories. But through all of that, my old habits when I returned from that trip from boxing, which I thought I got rid of, which was like all the starvation and everything, basically came back. And that's when I sort of got into steak. 2 years ago, or 2 and a bit years ago, put a photo of a steak on Instagram. And maybe 6 months after that, someone said, you should tell people how you cook steak. So I did that. And then, for about a year or 15 months, probably, I spent a lot more time on my steak page, showing people how to cook steak. And a few months ago, I quit my job to take it really to the next level. So it's been a long and exciting journey.
And you have a podcast about carnivores. Also, correct?
No, it's
Oh,
I have
okay.
a podcast, but it's not specifically about carnivores.
Okay.
I do.
Is it about steak?
No, it's not. I do eat steak with my guests though, but I've interviewed people that you would probably know. And I've interviewed Bradley Marshall, Carnivore Ray as well. But I don't really like talking about things that everyone else talks about.
Sure.
For lack of a better word, I like to take it pretty deep, get to know who they are as a person. I'm setting up. I have like a person coming in tomorrow, and I have like a welcome to the Steak Lad Experience signboard that I set up just beforehand, and that's just like a thing that when they walk in, they see that, and it's sort of just a way for me to make them feel comfortable in a way. But I guess everything I do sort of makes them feel comfortable. But yeah, take it very deep. Like with Ray, for example, I think we might have mentioned the word carnivore twice. It was more just understanding who he was as a person. And yeah, it's a big passion of mine. It takes up a lot of time. I tell you what, if I didn't have a beef tallow product and I didn't have a podcast, my steak page would be way bigger, just because both of those things take a long time. But both of those things are part of the ecosystem that I'm building. So I just think it's worthwhile balancing both at the time I'm at now.
And you have a line of tallow. What do you say?
Yeah, I have a beef tallow product. That's just, once again, I developed that as a bit of a necessity because I wanted to make some money. My passion is actually more so in the content. So this beef tallow product is a means to an end in a way. I have it there, but I'm not pushing it too hard. I'm not really trying to sell it. But I do have, a good relationship with a number of butchers throughout Melbourne. It's the perfect business model. I mean, I've got the social platform, so I get often gifted some free meat. And then they stock my tallow, and then I promote their business through my content. So it's really good. I have it in about 15 butchers. I dropped off about 400 earlier in the week to butchers. So my car was like sitting really low because I had 400 beef tallows in my little Mazda 3, which is a small car. And I was like actually worried for a second because there was so much beef tallow in my car. But that's just another thing that I've managed to do along this journey.
That's awesome.
Are you fully carnivore?
Yeah.
Low carb, keto? What do you?
Yeah,
normally?
I would say I am like 95%, but I'll have honey and stuff like that occasionally with some of the content that actually my best performing video ever was a steak that I marinated in honey, and that got 10 million views in a week.
Wow.
Yeah, on all my platforms. So I still incorporate it, but like in my day-to-day life, like my breakfast this morning was a steak with some beef tallow. So I'm pretty strict in that regard. It has changed my life. It has changed my life. I had pretty chronic asthma, some issues focusing growing up. So my asthma's fully gone from this lifestyle. And whilst I'm not 100% carnivore, I mean, I would say I'm 99% of my meals that I eat when I'm not doing content would be fully carnivore. And then obviously just with some content stuff that I do try and mix it up. I don't really promote the fact that I eat like this on my content. I'm a big advocate for it. But I sort of try and appeal to, people within the carnivore community and like at barbecue enthusiasts, all those type of people as well. So yeah, but it has changed my life, 100%. It's completely changed my life. I'm as focused as ever. My sleep routine, despite it being or not having as much sleep as I used to, I'm still fully locked in all the time. Energy's there. And I am probably working the hardest I've ever worked. Like, I can't remember the time I've ever worked so hard, having just quit my job, and wearing so many hats. But I think it'd be interesting to see my state of mind if I was actually eating poorly amongst this time, because I have no doubt if I used to eat the way I did, I would probably be in a really bad way right now, just with the amount that I'm doing. But I'm feeling really good, which is exciting.
How many times a day do you eat?
Just once.
Okay.
Just once. I'm pretty obsessive. So even if I know the whole point of carnivore is that you can sort of eat freely and you don't really have to be as calorie counting is something that I avoid. And despite that, if I have one meal, I just feel better about myself. And I just have a really big meal. In saying that, though, I am filming a lot of content these days. So sometimes I'll have a snack before filming because it's really hard. Sometimes my cooks take like 7 hours for the content, and I'm doing like a big brisket or something, and they take a really long time. So I get hungry, and I want to make sure that I'm not I really want to give my all to the content. So I really make sure that I put time into into filming. And if I really want to finish it and rush it just so I can eat it, then that's not really what I want. So I'll compromise and have a snack then. And normally I'll have a fair bit of the meat that I end up cooking for my content.
So is your channel mostly cooking or
Cooking, but it's to be honest, I'm trying to build, like, I want to be one of the biggest YouTubers in Australia within 12 to 18 months. I've only got about 9,000 subscribers right now, but within 6 months I'm halfway to being monetized. And I'm not saying that being monetized is the key to unlocking everything. I'm more so implying that I think once you're monetized and incentivized to do the best content in the world, you'd get rewarded appropriately through YouTube because you get more views, and then obviously brands wanting to align. So I've done a skit where I went to people. I don't know if you, when you were in Melbourne, Robert, did you hear of a place called Toorak?
I didn't go.
Toorak. Yeah, that is the most wealthy suburb in I think it's the top 5 wealthiest suburbs in Australia. And I earlier in the year I did a door knocking segment cooking people steak. So I was walking around these massive mansions, knocking on their door and asking if they wanted a free steak, and filming it in the process. And it was unbelievable content. It went very viral. But I didn't really know how to package the whole video. So it didn't go as viral as I'd hoped on YouTube, but now I know YouTube a lot better. But yeah, I've done interviews with homeless people cooking steak for them. There's a lot of content that I've done that sort of just tries to do things differently. But I spent a lot of money in the process doing all that. So I'm really just focusing on the content that I can do for now. And then once I'm incentivized to do the content at a better level, that's when I'll really start elevating and doing things that really no one's done before. I think in Australia, I think I've got the ability to do all of that. But obviously carnivore and cooking and steak will be the channel, or not the channel, but the motivator, or the funnel to everything that I'm doing, really. So everything will be steak related.
Do you think that steak is the best thing to eat for all of us, and why?
Yeah, it's a good question. Oh, I can only talk from my experience.
That's why we're talking.
For me personally,
we want your opinion.
Yeah, for me personally, like I said, it's fully changed my life. A lot of people, like my mum, for example, the other day said, do you want to get a blood test? And I said, I feel amazing. My asthma's gone. My energy is there. Why do I feel the need to get a blood test when I feel so good? And like I was in a really bad way before this whole thing started, starving myself really for days on end. And as soon as I started eating steak regularly, so many attributes of my life has just completely changed. I started getting really into personal development when I started this lifestyle. And through that personal development journey is the reason why I'm sitting here talking to you right now. So I think, based on my experience, I mean, I'm the perfect advocate for steak being the perfect diet for humans, because it's completely and utterly changed my life in so many ways.
And honey, what other, do you do eggs, and do you do cheeses, cream?
Yeah. I'll do cream. I'll do raw Parmesan. And honey's only when I really do content. I do eggs sometimes if I honestly just quit my job. So, and I get given a lot of free meat, thankfully. So I'm just trying to bunker down right now. I don't have a crazy amount of savings. I went out on a whim, just sort of, I felt the need to go out and quit my job and give this thing a real crack. So I haven't been buying as many eggs just because I'm trying to bunker down and survive on my cash before I need to start pulling money out of the business, if that makes sense.
So you've created a new job. So you shifted from one job to another, and now you're mostly focusing on self-employment and creativity and sharing an idea that is growing. Would you agree that this idea of eating steak and not eating fruits and vegetables is a growing concept in our current environment?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a lot of people in my life that when I started this journey were against me living the way that I did. I remember, and they've been big supporters of mine, my local butcher. When I grow up, I would have had to have been 21 or 22 when I started exploring. I think on the 27th of October, 2022 is when I bought Paul Saladino's book, The Carnivore Code. I actually went back and looked at it on Audible. And I remember walking into the butcher's at the time and ordering the fat offcuts in my mince. Mm-hmm. And they thought I was crazy. And they were like, "Are you eating all this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And they were like, "It's not healthy. That's weird." And I was like, I felt weird. Like I felt bad actually going in there and asking for it. Like I had this one butcher that I was friends with, and he knew my order, and I'd always wait for him because I didn't want to tell any other butchers what I was doing. So I do think it's growing. But yes, Robert, to answer your question, I was a real estate agent for 5 years, and this was a passion that I knew I had to explore. And I guarantee you, I know for a fact that if I sit down with you in 12 months' time on my birthday, I will be in a way different position to where I'm at now. I'm literally working 7 days a week, till 12 a.m. every night, 7 a.m. till 12 a.m. Relentless focus. You know, it's I've never found anything like this in my life that I've put so much effort and care into, and it's I feel privileged to have found something that I like and enjoy doing so much.
So it's a passion, and it's not really work. I mean, I guess if you go back 50,000 years ago, you know, everyone was taking Saturday, Sundays off.
Correct.
There's no day off.
No, there's no day off.
It's always the work of nature. And maybe we've created sort of wrong concepts that you need to play more and be off more, and forgetting that no other animal takes off, no other animal cooks their food.
And it's not. I'm not like promoting like a forget how you feel lifestyle. Like I'm actually getting the guy who I'm interviewing tomorrow has a tattoo on his arm that says "F your feelings," like fuck your feelings. And that's not really the lifestyle that I'm advocating. It's more so there's work to be done, so I'm doing it.
Well, I guess that's really like, you know, one cow says the next how you feeling today. There's no feelings. Yes. It's just being, right?
Exactly.
And so we made a world of craziness or getting away from who we really are and what we really are.
Yeah. And I had a funny text from someone today, and sorry to cut you off, but
please.
It was and nothing against this, but it was like I know you hustle hard and have the big picture vision, but make sure to treat yourself on the milestone. It's important to celebrate. Throw a party or dinner, whatever it is, make sure to spend quality time with those around you. And my response to that was that I had really nothing planned. It was just a normal day. And yeah, whilst 30 might be something for some to celebrate, it's I'm not getting too caught up in celebrating what's just a normal day for me. I did a podcast earlier today and spent all day, pushing stuff for my podcast and preparing for the one that I have tomorrow, which I'm extremely excited about. This guy that I'm speaking to tomorrow, I'm very excited about.
We should celebrate every day.
So true.
By going to work every day and doing the things that we enjoy. This idea enjoy doing, but it's actually the work you need to do in order to thrive and survive, which is connecting around the globe and sharing an idea that, ultimately this carnivore lifestyle is the game changer for our brothers and sisters around the globe, because they're all suffering. They're suffering from a plant protein, low fat diet. And what you're doing, 30, are you 30 yet, Dr. Nelson?
I'm working on my third 30.
No, you're not.
I'm 30 plus 12 this year.
30 plus 12.
I
had someone knock on the door today, and he was which I love doing. I love people who prospect for business, and he knocked on the door and he said, "Are there any parents home?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And he goes,
"Yeah, your daddy."
Yeah,
and yet
I was the only person there, and I was like, "I live here, man." And I said, "My 30th birthday today." And he goes, "Oh, sorry, you look young." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I've had a few people message me today because I told them on my story it was my 30th birthday, and I've had too many people ask me what my skincare routine is. And the answer is nothing. I don't use skincare. I haven't ever. I don't use products. I don't use anything. I get gifted beef tallow for my skin all the time, and I sometimes rub it on, but I rarely use it. It's more just diet, 100%.
Inside determines the outside.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great.
Yeah. Good. What about physical activity?
Yeah.
Are you an exerciser? Or do you have any routine that you also incorporate in your day-to-day lifestyle?
I'm actually sort of sweating right now because I have a sauna and an ice bath at my house. So yes, I'm a regular sauna and ice bath advocate. That's been huge for me. I used to do sports like boxing and jiu-jitsu all the time and weightlifting and all that sort of stuff, but I am too obsessive. I take it too far all the time. Injure myself, hurt myself, push through injuries. I pushed through numerous injuries when I was younger, and to the detriment of my body. My knee is something that still sort of gives me grief from a period of my life where I was doing jiu-jitsu, and I just kept training for 6 months, and then I really hurt it badly at the 6-month mark. Even though it wasn't healed, I just made it even worse. And from that point, probably about 2 years ago, I just said I'm stopping contact sport, and that's really when I went down the health route and spent more time on what I ate, because I was like, well, I'm not doing this crazy training anymore. And funnily enough, I lost weight as a result. I do some body weight stuff most mornings. I try to and incorporate the sauna and ice bath where I can. And I've started a new routine of getting up and going for a walk and getting in the sun every morning straight away. So that's my thing. I get up, get outside, get in the sun. It was beautiful. We're in the middle of winter right now in Melbourne. It was 21 degrees today. So the weather gods must have known it was my birthday. I was absolutely lapping it up in the sun this morning, which is great. So I wouldn't say I'm a massive, and to be honest, I haven't been doing as much exercise just because, there are so many things that I'm juggling right now. And, if I have to go up and deliver, like for what I did on Tuesday, if I have 400 beef tallows to drop off, that's like a 5 to 6 hour drive. It's not something I really want to, I just want to get it over and done with. I'm that type of person. So I got up, did that straight away, came home and felt somewhat relaxed as opposed to driving around in peak hour traffic, So I just do it where I can and work it into my routine and really focus on what I'm eating.
So what's the purpose of the beef tallow you're selling? What's the what would you recommend people use it for, and how would they use it?
Yeah, so it's a olive oil alternative for cooking steak, frying. A lot of people that I know use it to fry potatoes or anything really. I don't really eat potatoes, but I've heard they taste pretty good. I use it, predominantly as a cooking oil substitute whenever you're putting steak or cooking steak in a pan. I'll put it in the pan beforehand, and then that sits at the base and helps develop the crust. So the purpose of it was just honestly just to make money, but it takes up a lot of my time as well. I've actually knocked back. I've said no to butchers now. Said I just can't. I want to pursue the content a bit more, and yeah.
Are these donated beef fat?
Nah. So I get a ton. I had 1.5 tons delivered to a warehouse today.
Oh wow.
1.5 tons, yeah. And I'll probably get through that in a few months. And that's like without really trying to sell it. So if I was trying to sell it, I could get through way more.
So you buy it?
Yeah, I bought 1.5 tons, and then I have a manufacturer or someone that makes it for me, and that I'll never regret doing that. I learned so much. That was an absolute hectic period of my life trying to get that product into the world whilst working a full-time job. That was, a crazy hectic period of my life. And during that time, I was actually doing two podcasts a week. I was publishing 2 podcasts a week. I was doing all of it. So I was, burning out.
So the butchers, they cut a significant amount of fat off of the cow.
Yeah. Now I get it from where the cows get slaughtered, from the abattoir. It's the only way you can get the beef suet, because the suet is something that doesn't make it to the butchers,
right?
Because it's an offcut. So I have a relationship with a pretty large, or one of the largest abattoirs or companies, I guess, in Australia, and whenever I need some, they sort me out pretty quickly.
So is that your primary fat that you use?
Yeah,
or
yeah,
do you use
yeah.
other fat from the animal?
No, that's I obviously have it I have it in my garage. I run it out of my garage, so it's hectic. I need to get a warehouse or something, but that's my main fat. It's the main fat I use in all my content. I actually use it whenever I'm doing over the fire cooking. You can chuck it over the fire. It's like an inferno, and it's great. It's great for content. People love flames, so I try and use it as much as I can. But I've done content where I soak it in beef tallow as well for 24 hours and see how it tastes. And for anyone listening, I probably wouldn't recommend it. It's not worth the time, but it's good for content.
And so when your cuts of meat, are they fatty?
Yeah.
What's your favorite cut to cook?
Yeah. No, you should have seen. I wish I could show you. It's probably this big. Yeah, it's probably that big. My housemate just got me a full grass-fed Wagyu brisket, which is about that thick and that long. So I love the fatty cuts. You should say, there's this guy that posts. He posted a porterhouse video yesterday, and he got a whole slab of porterhouse, and he cut it up, and he cut the fat off the side and put it to the side. I was like, why are you cutting? Why are you trimming that, man? Eat it. And then you look at all the other stuff that he eats, and you look at I don't like not shaming people, but when if you asked him if fat was bad, he probably would say it's bad. And then you look at all the other food that he's eating, and you're like, well, why is fat bad when your diet consists of really bad food? Just doesn't make sense. Most of the fats. Yeah, you go.
Do you do any raw meat?
I haven't in my content, no. But I'll eat it like when I'm preparing it. If I've got fat offcuts and I've cut stuff off, not fat offcuts, but if I've got like sometimes when I'm doing content, there'll be a bit of raw fat on the side of the steak, and I'm like, I'll eat that before, I can eat that. Because I get a bit hungry during the content sometimes. But no, I don't eat it. I normally cook it when I'm doing it. But most of the content that I do, I found that the cuts that are most fatty not only taste good, but sort of appeal to a wider audience. So I try and get the fattiest cuts that I can. And yeah, sometimes the butchers are like, "Do you want me to trim it?" I say, "Absolutely not. Keep it on. Keep it on."
In some ways, they've already done it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you mentioned grass fed. Did you mean grass finished?
I'm not 100% sure if it's grass finished, but this butcher sells organic meat that they got it from. It's one of my favorite butchers, so very clean. Very clean. I do promote the grass fed lifestyle, but I'll eat Wagyu if I need to. I used to not eat Wagyu, but I kept getting offered free Wagyu, so I was like, maybe I need to start cooking some of this.
Wagyu is wonderful.
I agree.
This is all to eat. I don't eat the lean stuff. I don't eat.
Oh, really?
I just had yesterday a bone-in Wagyu ribeye.
Beautiful. That's perfect.
It was rare.
Yeah, I get yeah. I got gifted A5 Wagyu. It was ridiculous.
Raw to rare is the best thing to eat. And people are still, I think many carnivores are still fat phobic.
Mm.
And no other animal tries to be skinny. You know that.
No, of course. Yeah, no, I definitely don't fear it. I embrace it. I eat it wherever I can. And, yesterday, what did I do? I cooked something last week. Yeah, I cooked a bit of eye round steak, which is a pretty lean cut of meat. It's a very lean cut. But from an aesthetics viewpoint, the fat didn't really suit the content that I was trying to do. So I'm like, I cut it off, and I had that. There was so much there. It was like I could put it in my hand like this. Like it was so much, and I just fried that down and ate it before the video. And then I didn't need to really eat much of the meat once it finished cooking, which was like 5 or 6 hours later. But yeah, I save every bit of fat that I can. Even when I go into butchers and they cut me up steak, if they do have fat offcuts there, I'm like, can you give me a plastic bag of the offcuts? And I'll just have it there as a snack. So yeah, I don't fear it at all. I'll eat the tallow out of the spoon as a snack sometimes as well. It's perfect.
My friend Angela Alero, Meat Mind, and she was over with my brothers in California celebrating my older brother's birthday, and she brought a bunch of Wagyu fat, and I just cubed it up and put it in the cast iron on the grill, and crackled it up and then salted it, and it's so good. Although I also cut it off and eat it raw, because raw fat and raw meat is healthier than cooked meat and rendered fat. That's kind of the crazy concept of all this. Like,
I wouldn't be against it. I've been asked to do raw tartare or beef tartare in my content, but oftentimes they add stuff into our tartare, so I've just left it alone. But I would look at doing it.
You should send some to Dr. Nelson and Nelly, because Nelly would really enjoy the tartare.
Really?
Not.
Where are you based, Rob? Where do you live?
Well, I live in upstate New York, Skinny Atlas on the lake, and but I was out in Irvine. I also I'm in Irvine, California, where I have an office. I go out there, hang out with my brothers. And that's where we had my older brother Ray's celebration for his birthday, and we got some the butchery we got some tomahawks, and we just black and blue.
Sounds beautiful.
Oh, it's so amazing. And then I also got some A5 Wagyu from Japan, and I sliced those up. I ate some raw, which is the best, and then I kind of just showed it the heat for a minute for everyone else, because they prefer it seared. And that was good.
Yeah. A5 special. I had it for the first time the other day. It was spectacular.
Yeah, A5. You know, they massage the cows. They feed them candy and beer in order to give them simple sugars in order to fatten them up nicely. Really, really good. And so your journey is to you're a content creator, inspirational guy. You like to inspire people with concepts and ideas of content, which really is the way of the world. It's all, you know, we're on these devices and just going you know, going through it. Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah, it's one way of looking at it. It's a weird word, the word content creator. It's like, it's not, yes, I love filming content. But yeah, there's a deeper purpose behind it all. And like I said to you, I'm 150% convinced that I'll be in a completely different position this time in 12 months.
Well, you're in a perfect position today.
Kira, when I say position, I mean, like, I won't be worried about where or how I'm paying rent in a few months. You know, that's what I mean. But I agree, and I said this before. I said it before. Like, this is going to be the best time. This is going to be the time that I tell most people about. It's like the building phase, you know.
Well, read the book. Read the book, Wally Waddle's The Science of Getting Rich, and read The Success Principles by Jack Canfield, or The Mind is the Master by James Allen. Have you ever been to the bank?
Not for a while.
But have you ever been to the bank?
Yes.
Have you ever gone in the vault and seen your money?
No.
Doesn't exist. It's a mindset. The mind is the master of everything. So I am rich. I am living an abundant life. The Three Magic Words is one of the very best books you can ever read, by U.S. Anderson, because money exists only in the mind. And so this is a secret. Rhonda Byrne from Australia, I think, right?
Oh, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't heard of her.
You haven't read it yet.
Yeah, correct. Correct.
So you got to read.
I can't remember the last time I've read a book.
Well,
I'm not very good at reading.
Audible books.
Yeah, I'll do Audible.
Don't tell anyone else.
Yeah.
The secret is listening to books, but I'm a voracious reader and I can't read. Which is kind of crazy concept, right? But yeah, I mean, you're doing it right now and you're creating. And do you usually write a script, or you kind of mindset it and you kind of you go with the flow and it changes as you go? How's that work?
It depends. Depends on the format. You know, with some of my short form, it's more so just I'll speak in the hook. Like the first 3 seconds, I'll say something to hook people in, and then I'll go from there. But if it's long form, I'll try and script the first 20 seconds. The introduction is the most important, and then from there, it's like being myself. I think I've been using the word AI proof, or I'm AI proofing myself in the content that I do, and I say that because I truly think that in 5 years, any short form content that we see will be AI, the majority of it. And I think that humans will crave long form connection conversations like these. So I'm really trying to, use AI proof myself by hyper focusing on anything that can show who I am as a person, as opposed to how good the camera can look, if that makes sense. So I'll be doing way less short form, and more so just focusing on long form. And yeah, because you can't replicate me, but you can easily replicate the content that I do, especially with AI. And AI will do it even better. They can't replicate. No, they can't replicate me.
Ooh. What do you say, Dr. Nelson? Is it the real Dr. Nelson today, or is this his AI bot?
Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is
sleeping upstairs.
What I mean by that is like who I like, just who, because I think over time people will develop and understand who I am. And that is going to be hard to replicate, and that's the thing that people and humans will be craving, especially with long form conversation. Perhaps you'll be able to replicate that as well. I suspect you will be able to replicate the perfect podcast in 5 years, but I still think that is something that I'll be focusing on nonetheless.
What are your thoughts, Dr. Nelson?
Well, in general about AI, very interesting. I don't know if we will be able to be replicating a lot of stuff perfectly in 5 years, but certainly has a lot of uses even nowadays.
I think the thing with short form is that the bots can get so much short form content out, and they know what goes viral. So if they are able to replicate that at mass, in 5 years, there'll be like no room for people like me doing short form, in my opinion. Yeah,
we'll
it's
see.
Hard. It's we will see, but there's so much content out there right now that's AI, and you just can't even tell.
You can't.
And it's crazy.
The point is that and whether it's you or that bot, it's going to grow, and that's what. But I think
it's interesting because I have already seen even someone who, it was Dr. Barry. I've seen others, but Dr. Barry, someone used him to do a commercial that I'm 100% sure he didn't do this, and they were using his image and his voice, and it was an ad on YouTube for something that I doubt very much that it was the real thing.
And who owns that? Who has the right to use it? Right? It's it's going to be very interesting. Old guy, Mitch Barnymore, I think AI is one of the greatest threats to humanity we have ever seen. Right? Absolutely. And it's being used out there, right? Scheduling my patients and collecting payments, my thoughts are, instead of being afraid of AI, utilize it to enhance your business. I mean, you said the same thing with, so many things we do. It's just learning how to use it, learning where it's going to be best. But like anything else,
it could be misused. Yeah, it's a great tool for many things.
Human beings have a knack for using things for good and for bad. But I guess it's judgment more than anything.
Yeah, well, I listened to a podcast the other day that they reckon people will use it, for cybersecurity reasons to like start wars with other countries. Like they're like, all it takes is one crazy person to want to change the world, and they'll be able to do it in a few years. Like it's not a world that I really want to think about, but it's definitely something that I think would be silly not to think about with everything that's going on.
Do we have a couple of questions, Alia?
I think we do, but we might have actually already answered them. Like Pat Buchanan or Buchanan, does he eat raw meat?
Raw meat, I'll eat it. I wouldn't intentionally eat it, but I do eat it without fear. If before a video.
Pottinger's Cats. Read Pottinger's Cats. My bet is raw meat is the healthiest thing to eat. Cooked meat is unhealthy.
Yeah.
But we do it. So we're healthy
Yeah.
enough, but
Interesting.
fat, unrendered fat.
Maybe I
is
should
healthy.
do some. I should do some raw meat content. See how that'll go
I
viral for
think
sure.
You should. You should.
It'll go very
Yeah.
viral.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then Maria Miller, can you please repeat what your main goal is with your content?
That's a good question. I want a media team. I want a media business to funnel everything that I do. I genuinely think I'm on that path. Hopefully build an ecosystem that can take me around the world and do whatever I want. And that will happen. That's not actually too hard to do. But yeah, I would love to have a media business and media team that helps me with the podcast, helps me with coming up with crazy ideas to travel the world and just do the best content that I genuinely think that there's so many Americans that are doing content on YouTube to another level that no one in Australia is doing. So yeah, I really want to take Australia by storm and then take it overseas. I'm already speaking to some massive creators in America that I know for a fact one day I'll be doing videos with. But yeah, like it just with the podcast as well. Like I've had numerous people who have listened to my podcast. I would recommend anyone who likes Carnivore Ray and wants to see a different side of him to listen to episode 63 of my podcast. Like he looked at me in the eyes, sitting right where I'm exactly right now. Looked at him in the eyes and said it was, one of the best podcasts he's ever done. And he's since messaged me saying it allowed him to understand himself a lot more and actually go and get the help and the, talk through it with his, with who he needs to sort of understand himself a bit more. And he attributed that to my conversation. So yeah, it's a long-winded answer to that question, but yeah, ultimately I'd love to be one of the biggest creators in Australia, and then the world within, a certain time frame. Hopefully not too long.
What's your source of your biggest inspiration?
Probably just people that have done what I've done. The people out there that started something just because they loved it and it turned into something way bigger than themselves. I see it time and time again. I see people like Max the Meat Guy, who's pretty big in America. He just loved meat and he started posting about it. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't have too many people that I'm like, I really want to be like them. I'm really trying to make the Steak Lad something, that is different to just about anything. I haven't seen any massive creator in America that also has a really big podcast that attempts to understand humans and how they think and what they do. And yeah, if I had a highlight reel of the feedback that I've received from some of my guests, I think it would make a pretty good reel. But I've gone through and some of the people that have said good things about what I've done, and I'm like, do I maybe put this in a reel and make some content out of it? But I don't really like to, I just like, love doing what I'm doing, and I don't really feel the need to glorify and say how good am I just because I do this. I just, maybe one day people will see it on a global scale and they'll have hundreds of conversations to go back and look on and say, well, this guy's done the work and he means what he,
Do
you
have any spiritual belief systems that you tap into at all, or any one thing that you go to in order to sort of like get to that next level?
At the moment, I think it's just, doing the work, but doing it in a way that sort of feels right. Like I said, I'm working hard, but I don't want to build resentment towards it. Do I have any spiritual? I have an intense belief that everything I've said in this conversation will happen. I've got a belief that it's already happened. I'm just working every day to get there. And that's developed that period of my life, the whole mindset, frequency, understanding that if you set an intention and you work towards it, it will happen. So yeah, I've got a strong belief that
It's
all of
happening.
that, I wouldn't say it's, exactly. Yeah.
It's happening.
Correct.
It's the law of attraction. That's the spirit of life.
Yeah.
Would you say you believe in God? You think God exists?
No. I don't believe in God. I wasn't raised in a. Sorry.
Do you believe in yourself?
100%. I wouldn't have quit my job if I didn't. Well, that's God. Okay. Well, there you go.
God.
Yeah.
We're the masters of the universe. That's what Jesus Christ shared with us. God's not out there; He's in here, within all of us.
Okay.
And so essentially, the answer is yes, you do, because God is the phrase we use, or the label we use for the greatest creator of the universe, and which is within all of us. Nobody exists without God, because God is us, and we are the storytellers. And what story do you want to tell? Do you want to tell a sad and run down story, or a masterful, strong story? That's why I think.
I say it time and time again. Yeah, you go. I cut you off there. You go.
Oh, we're commingling. It's good. It's good. It's good. No. You
said you say it all. You said something and I cut you off. So I don't know. Sorry. Get back.
Oh, it's within all of us.
Yeah.
And you're on a journey of creating and letting go. And I would say that, this idea of God is the single most amazing thing that humanity has created. And every thought we think creates the life we live.
It's powerful. Well, then I do believe in God, but I don't. It's not something I think about regularly.
Yeah, I would say that it's grasping the understanding, the power, and we're lions, not sheep, and lions eat sheep, and sheep eat grass, and our consumption of grass and grains has fried our brains and has essentially damaged all of us to the point we don't believe in the power within us. It's called heroin, cocaine, marijuana, nicotine, caffeine, and alcohol. And so a plant-based diet creates alcohol in the gut and other chemicals that are damaging our brains. And then we have depression, anxiety, ADHD, OCD, schizophrenia, and all sorts of other diseases, which we think is caused by our genes. It's caused by the grains and a lack of fat, because it's all fermentable.
Well, thankfully, I ate a lot of that.
Yeah, you're probably the king of fat. What? How many tons?
1.5 tons.
Yeah,
that's like 3,000 pounds.
And so, is it possible that obesity is not our problem? But our problem,
I think that's a question for you. Yeah.
But our problem is a plant protein, low fat diet, which is essentially deadly for humans. And that makes us weak and meek, depressed and anxious, fearful, and that we're fearful of quitting our day job to go hunting.
Yeah, I can tell you.
Well, just hunting, something like that, right?
Yeah, well, there's nothing more powering for me to take the leap and chase my dreams. That's it's powerful. Yeah, I actually sat in this exact chair and spoke for about 20 minutes the day I quit my job and put a reel out. And I was questioning myself at the time because I was like, oh, it's pretty deep and raw, and it went really well, obviously, because people love that stuff. But yeah, I was just like, I really want to get or have an insight into my brain right now and how I'm feeling. And I gave myself a message to myself, and I said, thank you. Like, I'm grateful you did this. And whilst the path in the short term is uncertain, I know for a fact I'll be thanking the future version of myself for the decision that I made to follow my dreams. And I truly think if I didn't get into this lifestyle of eating meat, it would not have happened, because I would have just stayed in the spiral of what I was doing. I was, in a really bad way. And I was, eating 1,000 calories a day. I looked good. I had a 6-pack, but I was mentally fried. And here I am now, talking to people all over the globe and meeting people all over the globe, and wouldn't have it any other way.
What other, it's sort of like think about our humanity and building our bodies to look a certain way, and no other animal really does that. They just be who they are. And do you think, evolutionarily speaking, we were primarily hunters, and grass and grains or fruits and vegetables were a minor part of our diet?
Yeah, this part of the carnivore stuff is I don't really dive into all this stuff too much. How humans were historic, or how humans were before all of I don't know, modern day technology. But I that might be an answer for you. Having just done a 14-day fast, I suspect you've explored that topic a lot more than I have in the past.
We tell stories, don't we?
Yeah.
But fruits and vegetables tend to make us sick, and they're never required in the diet. But fatty meat technically is the biggest requirement we have in order to be truly healthy and well. I mean,
hopefully we continue to portray that message, and there'll be a lot of healthy humans in the world.
As long as you keep creating the content, searing steak, that's going to be the very best thing for us.
Cooking so much steak.
What do you got going on today? What's the steak of the day?
Well, it's 8 p.m. It's 9 p.m. in Australia right now. So I've already had my steak for the day, and I'll be up till pretty late preparing for this conversation I'm having tomorrow. And aside from that, I don't eat too late. I think if I was to eat now, I wouldn't sleep. I don't like eating too late.
Press the button.
What have I got?
I eat late and I go to bed early, and I think sleeping on your food is the best thing you could do.
Alia, please email Alia at drkiltz.com.
I've already got it.
What's this? Is this a prize for something?
Again.
Yeah, so somebody's gonna win a Kiltz hoodie today, but not me.
Okay. Are these all the people on the live?
These are all the people that put hashtag KMT into the chat.
Pat Buchan.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Pat asked a question before. I saw that.
I think, yeah. Pat did ask a question before. Congratulations, Pat. Please email me, alia@drkiltz.com, your address and your shirt size, and we'll get that shipped out to you. Congratulations. There we go.
Brother, where can people find you?
The Steak Lad on all platforms I'm on. I'm giving YouTube a real crack at the moment. Yeah.
Cool.
We obviously met. I don't know if you recall, we met each other in Melbourne, obviously. That was. Yeah, I'm trying to give you my beef tallow, actually. Yeah.
I'll be out there again next year sometime, and I'll get some.
Awesome.
September. Well, you'll be there next September.
Maybe you come to this room and we can have a nice podcast and eat some steak. Yeah, that's my thing.
Perfect. You give me the invitation, I'll be there. Oh,
mate, I'd love to have you here. That's the best. It's the best podcast introduction you can have. Sit down, eat some steak, and then you have a deep chat about life. It's a big obsession of mine.
Life. And you know what I love to
Yeah.
talk about more than anything is God.
Okay.
Which means we're talking
Well,
about
I'll do the homework.
You and I.
I'll do the homework.
We're
I'll do
talking
the
about
homework beforehand.
each other.
So I'll make
It's the
sure I do
best.
my homework on God.
The best, my brother.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
Great
day.
All right, everybody.
Yeah.
It's been an hour. That hour went by fast. Here we go. See
3
you.
p.m.
Thank you so much.
p.m.
With Emily.
Appreciate
Penton.
you
Okay,
having me
bye.
on, and I really appreciate that. Have a good day.
We've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Let's do more. Let's do it again and get
I'd
Have
love
a
that.
great day, everyone.
Perfect.